Nnamdi, have you heard the news?
Oh,
Big
what is
Snoop
that?
Dogg. Big Snoop Dogg has made a big power move. He's bought Deathrow Records.
Wow. Okay. Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
allegedly.
Okay.
No, he has, according to Page Six,
Mm,
TMZ, and several outlets. Um, Snoop Dogg has acquired Death Row, the label that originally launched his career. That was originally uh, spearheaded by Suge
Sugar
Knight,
Knight.
who was currently in jail. So
Wow.
that's a big move.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
And I do wonder, because I doubt if that deal would have included the masters of.
Right now, I believe it's just the name and the
Okay.
brand.
Okay.
I don't
Because
believe it. Yeah, and that's why people have to pay attention to the fine print, because he's acquired the name, the whole Death Row
mm,
brand. But he doesn't have the masters and the catalog and all of that stuff. Now he
okay.
claims that he's going to try to acquire that, but
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know
he
that
could
he's
have.
going to do
He
that.
could. He has the kind of deep pockets to do that, but he could re-record his album, like what Taylor Swift and stuff are doing, and release it on Death Row,
That's a smart
and
idea.
and and almost it would almost seem as if this is the album that I needed to do. He could have signed Warren G onto Death Row,
He
bring out
could, something that should have
jazz,
happened in the first place.
bring out. Well, he did told him not to go there because Suge, because he said he had to. He wrote Regulate and most of Warren
Hmm.
G's album, but he had, because he signed away all his publishing to Suge, he had to ghostwrite on Warren G's album to get some money from there, because that was the only way.
Oh,
So that was the only way. He says, yeah, that's the only way he could have gotten anything, because he signed all his publishing away without knowing what he did. And but if no,
and
that
and that's
this
a little trick I be trying to like let the little youngsters know. When you get stuck in those contracts, you better learn how to ghostwrite. You know, you got to lose that pride and use aliases. But
yeah, but I think
I
that's
think it's
yeah, no, it's a good thing, because I think it has because hip hop is still probably one of the biggest money makers in the music industry. I'm sure he can get a distribution deal if he needed to, if
right.
and he's got a lot of clout and a lot of friends and a lot of people who he can put through there, and really make it
I think
work.
it's a smart move. I think it's a genius move, because I remember when Suge lost Death Row because he was going through his financial things with his legal stuff,
Mm,
and it went off to the auction. And see, the thing is, when it was auctioned off to a certain company, the thing that with a lot of the hip hop labels, the thing that actually keeps the business vibrant is having that association with that hip hop mogul or that particular artist.
yeah.
So essentially, when the people who acquired it prior got Death Row, it didn't have any of the artists, the big name artists like Snoop, Dre. It didn't have Suge Knight associated with a label. So essentially, if Billy Bob and Mary Sue is the owners of the label,
Yeah.
how are they going to market and sell those artists? How are they going to be?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the smart thing that is going on here, and this is why I say allegedly. So Snoop Dogg is being put forward as the person purchasing the, Death Row, because that looks good on the headlines, but we
Ah,
don't know who's really behind that. I think that he might possibly be the front. I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but see how there's a new. I'm looking at
Oh, we lost your sound. We lost your.
a
Yeah, yeah,
renewed interest and excitement. Like, yeah, we're getting, Snoop Dogg is, getting payback, because their whole history of him and
yeah,
Death Row,
yeah,
what
yeah.
Suge Knight did to him. But behind that, I'm wondering who's really standing to benefit from that sale. So. I just
Well,
think it's an interesting thing. I
no,
think it's smart from a business
I
standpoint.
think what you've done is to raise an interesting point because they said the details are sealed. So there's no details as to how much he paid and what
Right.
percentage he owns. By saying he has, it's even on BBC News. So BBC News, I mean, this is here in the UK, it was on BBC News. So it's made all the headlines. It's been done during the Super Bowl weekend, which Snoop and Dre, Mary and Eminem and
Right.
Kendrick Lamar are performing. So it's almost taking our momentum that he performs there. He may come up with a
Yes.
Deathrow shirt, and he's got an album that he's releasing. Um,
If anybody wanted to know what PR and publicists do, this whole media marketing suite, that's what they do, guys. Just because, so you
yeah,
know, the fact that we got the Super Bowl announcement, we got all of that stuff aligned with the Death Row purchasing, yada yada yada. That's all.
yeah.
That's
So
all
they've,
strategy. It's all
yeah. So
just to get you a little hint.
yeah, I think
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
as you
sorry.
rightly no, I think what you rightly pointed out is that the investment firm that bought the stuff are saying to Snoop, okay, we've got this, but it doesn't mean anything if we just start signing artists and put them out
Right.
there. They probably saw what he did with Def Jam, where he was sort of Def Jam brought him to release an album and and do some stuff. So they're saying, look, here's the label back. You know, you be the front person. We'll
Yeah.
finance it, and we're seeing about how we can re-record and stuff. So,
And it's not to say he doesn't have any percentage. I'm pretty sure he
no,
might
I'm
have
sure.
some
Yeah,
type of share, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Because like I said, Snoop, I don't know how much he's worth. I don't know how much what he else
it's
you know.
estimated that he's worth about 150 mil. I think Eminem is estimated
Yeah.
about 200. I mean, he's he does have he does have some money to buy. It's one thing to be able to buy the label brand. Um,
Hmm.
like Puffy just bought back Sean John.
I
Diddy
was gonna bring that up too.
Diddy's worth close to a billion, but and he's bought the brand. He knows how to he sold it high, bought it low, and
Yeah.
he can push it and promote it. But records are quite different to push. Um,
Well, I'm curious to know. How, I mean, will he be able to resurrect that brand? Because
which one? Which brand?
I'm sorry, Diddy. So because the public perception of him is not really great. And you know, when Sean John first launched, he was still kind of popular and hot, but his name has kind of been tarnished with some of the some of the opinions of him as far as how he does his business with his artists, and that
Mm,
he has not been able to shake that, even though he's done no worse than any other mogul, black mogul, with their artists, in my opinion. I think that a lot of, as we're hearing with a lot of the interviews we're doing, a lot of people had shady deals, and I think he's more visible of a because I mean I mentioned this to somebody in the comment section. Rihanna went bankrupt under Jay-Z in the beginning of her career. So but these things aren't publicized. But anyway, that's an interesting thing to see if he can resurrect that thing, and where his standing is with the public, because I think Snoop Dogg has a better image in the public. So, and it's
yeah,
interesting because we recently talked about 300 Entertainment being
so
sold for
yeah,
like
so
500 or 600 million
yeah,
almost. And but quietly earlier this year, Lil Wayne sold Young Money Entertainment
wow,
for 100 million. And it's like, that's what's weird to me, because you had some of the biggest artists, Drake, Lil Wayne himself, and Nicki Minaj on Young Money,
mm,
selling millions of records, and that was sold for $100 million. And there were other artists that are like Tyga and different people under that moniker as well.
mm,
But you have a label like 300 Entertainment, and the biggest claims to their fame is Megan Thee Stallion, um, Young Thug, and Gunner. And I don't know that they're selling millions, like literally selling
yeah.
millions and millions of records. I think that those are streams, but that's a whole other conversation. So it's interesting.
I would think that the artists that they have, maybe there's some 360 things in there. There may be back
Yeah.
a catalog of stuff that Kevin Lighty and what's the Leon Nicole owned
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
Def
that he's still
Jam.
involved. Yeah.
No, they're both they're both
Well, he's probably
part.
still an owner share in some way, but
They
I don't
both,
think he's.
yes. But
Yeah.
I think it involves a lot more catalogs and stuff from other things.
Right. Right.
But which 300 Entertainment probably was sort of it took on board. So I think it's less just their label, but I think it's a whole, because even Bruce Springsteen has just sold his catalog
Yeah. A lot of people are.
for about 300 or 400 million. So they're all selling it because the labels are thinking, we can see billions down the road. So people are buying their catalog. Shakira, all of them are selling their
It's a
catalog.
buyer's market. You would think
It
some
is.
people want
So,
to, you know, think
but
about
then,
inheritance, leaving their kids something, but no, they just
yeah, but
cashing out now. I wonder why.
see Michael Jackson, after after he died, the one thing he never wanted to do, his estate sold his share of Sony, half of Sony Music Publishing for $500 million. And it's probably the value has gone up to 600 or 700 million since they sold it. He bought that stuff for what, 80 million, so you can see that there is something, people are buying these things and they've got a long-term future vision as to what they can do with them, with music, because as I said, there's only so many records you can re-record. But anyway,
Right.
we just want to
Well,
give
let us
shout
know.
outs. Yeah, to just shout out to
Oh, shout
Snoop.
out. Let's do some shout outs.
No, shout out to Snoop for actually, even
Oh,
if
okay.
he doesn't own 100% of it or he's fronting it, it's a sort of a good story how,
It's a good move either way. Yeah, I
it
mean, I
definitely
hope he
is.
is a major share and the owner of it.
Yeah.
But I just suspect usually they don't allow. Well, I gonna say what they allow. But usually that's hopefully Snoop, you own it, and I wish you the best of luck because I think it's a smart move. He's been able to maintain his career for a long time and make money outside of his music. So
Yeah.
it's a great thing to see. Now, guys, let us know what you think. What are your comments? What do you think? Are you excited for Snoop? Are you happy for him? Do you think it's a trap? Don't do it. What do you think? No. Let us know in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks again for watching, guys.
And before we go, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Yeah. And also remember to turn on the notification so you can know when we have another show. But thanks again.
That too.